Hello. Today is, what is today? Today is day 5 of Party with the Plants. It's a plant party. And why are we partying with the plants? Because it's my birthday month and I love the plants and I have a connection with them and I utilize them in my treatments, and they come in and they're guides and they're amazing and they're beautiful and they have so much magic to share with us. So that's what I'm doing every single day. Who am I? I am Hilary Raven Porter. I am an integrative healer and ascension guide and mentor. And what that means is I draw upon multiple different modalities from Chinese medicine and herbalism and meditation and the spirit realm and my own wisdom, as well as the wisdom from the Seven Sisters of One, which I am 8, to help you as you're awakening into your inner truth, as you're awakening up into these levels of you that are fully self-expressed and glorious and divine. Thresholds. That's what I do. I help get you over those thresholds. So, who are we talking about today? Today is Dioscorea villosa, also known as wild yam. So, my most powerful experience with her was so intense, so intense. A couple of drops, sat with her, and all of a sudden, it was the tiniest, most little microscopic entity, the smallest little amoeba, whatever, speck of stardust, and how it went up into like a molecule, and then from that into the minerals, and from that into the rocks, and from that into the plants, and from the plants into the planet, to the atmosphere, to the ozone, and to the stars. And it was just this, like, literally, it was just like, because she is Gaia. She is Mother Earth. Hello, Jennifer. She connects us to all that makes up every aspect of the earth. Plant, mineral, microbe, animal, human being, atmosphere, air, everything, gas, everything. She connects us into this. So we talked a little bit about Althea the other day. We haven't gone in deep with them yet, but marshmallow root connects us into the matrix of the earth, and Simisifuga connects us into the matrix of the stars. But wild yam, I might go into the Latin because that's how I tend to refer to them, but Dioscorea, she is into the matrix of the earth, but the earth as a whole, not like the little star points that make up the earth, but as a whole. The collective consciousness of the earth, of everything that walks on this earth, everything that is within this atmosphere, that is Dioscorea villosa. She is sweet, she is earthen, she's a bit acrid. I took a couple drops of her before I popped on here, so she is tuned in. She is amazing as an antispasmodic. So she helps relieve you when you get those tight muscle spasms, especially in the digestive system. So when your intestines, when you get that like binding that can happen with your uterus. So for the women, when we get dysmenorrhea, or when we get the cramping and the painful menstrual cycles, moon flows, she helps release that. And also with the gallbladder. So if you have gallstones and you're releasing these gallstones, that hurts. You got this little tiny tube and you got this like rocky thing trying to go through this little tiny tube. And so you need to relax that muscle. That's what she's good for. You also may know her as, often they have these things, the progesterone creams, right? So they haven't just taken wild yam, mashed it up, and stuck it in a cream and put on your hand. That does then have to be pharmaceutically withdrawn from the plant, the constituents that they're looking for specifically. So it's no longer the whole plant. So they are able to draw it. So when they say natural sources, it is coming from a natural source, but it is being processed. Right? But back in the day, so we're talking about the 40s and stuff, she was drawn upon, and also the indigenous women drawn upon for, which I'm sure used it before the 40s, way before, but drawn upon as a birth control method. So she contains saponins. So saponins are like if you put something in water and it all bubbles up and it gets soapy, and that can be a little hard for our digestion. So there's different ways that she is processed, and depending on the way that she is processed will depend on the way that she sits within you. So if we're talking about withdrawing constituents from her via alcohol extractions like tinctures, which is what I currently have, or what I currently have tuned into her with, then you are getting more of the antispasmodic qualities, but still the energetics. I deal quite a bit in smaller doses, so little doses. So drops or very, very weak teas or topically, because then you're still getting the energetic shifting and it's a little bit different because your body already knows what it needs. Sometimes it's just like, here's the path, and it kind of goes like this a little bit, and you're like, oh, no, 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 come back this way. And it just needs that nudge. Lots of benefit that way, right? Yes, so I was talking about. So, and then the other ways that they do the extractions is the longer they would do like a decoction in water, and the longer you extract it, the more red it would become, and the more the saponins are withdrawn. And by a long decoction, I'm talking like an hour or more, and it become deep, deep red, which it's like the earth. It's like the womb, right? So, yes, so she is beautiful. I am in love with her as well. I'm in love with most of these plants. Dioscorea villosa, wild yam, connection to Gaia. She appears. You may have heard me talk about this, about how plants show up for me as this entity, as this being, and she is very much Mother Earth. You know, when you see those images, and the person's just they have a lot of greenery around them. They're voluptuous. They're flowing and they're motherly. Like you just want to hug them. They just want to hug them to their bosom, right? You're just like, oh, and you're just like cozied right up in there. That is Dioscorea villosa. She can instill tears, and how she does this is how does it feel when you are emotional or when you have something going on or you are on this level of sitting and holding in, and then you are held in that manner, that complete, just like you are safe, and you cry because she takes the weight of the world for you. She allows that to come through you, but she doesn't take it so that you are still not doing your work. She just allows you the space to be like, oh, this is okay. That is Dioscorea villosa, wild yam. Okay, that is it for me today. If you have any other questions about any of the herbs we've talked about, you can pop on over as well to YouTube, Hillary Raven Porter, Raven, Hraefn. I have been posting some of these videos over there as well as some others that are coming up. And so you can see those there. You can always send me a message as well. If you're being called to work with me, I do offer an hour free consultation session so that we can connect and see how our energies drive and see where you're at and where you'd like to be and how we can work to get you there. Or if you just have some basic questions about wild yam today, have at her. I'd love to hear what you have to ask, your curiosities. Okay, so much love and stardust. I am about to go into the rest of my weekend. Okay, bye for now.